Well, 2021 has came and gone, and I must say it was kind of a lackluster year for new roller coasters. Sure, we had VelociCoaster, which is a great intimate roller coaster, well, though I've heard, I haven't ridden it yet. But beyond that, I really think the only major coaster that opened here in the US was Jersey Devil Coaster, and that was a good RMC, but not a top tier. Majority of the other projects, which were supposed to open in 2021, got delayed until 2022. So here we are looking again ahead at some upcoming roller coasters that have been delayed not once, but twice. So crossing your fingers, hopefully we will see Emperor at SeaWorld San Diego, Pantheon at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens Tampa, and Icebreaker at SeaWorld Orlando finally get their due and open. So instead of discussing my most anticipated of 2022, because, well, I hate to say it, I've already talked about these roller coasters like twice now. Let's focus on RMC. They have 3 new roller coasters that are opening, and they all look pretty good, and I want to talk about it. Let's see which one is the best. So for our first roller coaster, let's talk about the oldest, and that is Iron Gwazi. This roller coaster has just been sitting there since 2020. We've seen it complete test runs, and also we have a POV that was completed, I think it was like in March of 2020, so we have a good idea what this roller coaster looks like, how it's going to act. But yeah, let's take a look at the stats. Iron Gwazi will be the tallest hybrid coaster here in North America at 206 feet. It will reach a max speed of 76 miles per hour, have a total of 4,075 feet of track, and feature 2 inversions. The ride's claim to fame will be that barrel roll down drop. It looks like a really intense inversions, probably loaded with some ejector airtime in the beginning and just some good positive G's near the bottom. But beyond that, the rest of the elements look very similar to what we've been seeing from Rocky Mountain construction, especially from around the 2020 era. Alright, so our next roller coaster is Wonder Woman Flight of Courage, coming to Six Flags Magic Mountain. This will be a near clone of Jersey Devil Coaster at Six Flags Great Adventure. The stats are practically the same, except that Wonder Woman will be about 300 feet longer and 1 foot taller. The biggest change is actually where the station is located and that one final element before going into the brake run. I'm not sure if that's going to be considered an inversion. If it is, then Wonder Woman will have 4 inversions and Jersey Devil Coaster will have 3. So yeah, the stats. The ride stands 131 feet, reaches a max speed of 58 miles per hour, and will have 3,300 feet of track. Now for our last RMC, which I think is the most surprising, is Airy Force One. This is a hybrid roller coaster that will be located at Fun Spot America, Atlanta. This is a very small amusement park, basically one of those like go-kart / arcade places, and yeah, they're building a $13 million RMC. Not only is this a major investment for this amusement park, this looks like to be an incredible roller coaster, so let's get into the ride's stats. Airy Force One will stand 155 feet with a 146-foot drop. It will drop you at 83 degrees and reach a max speed of 64 miles per hour. The ride has a total of 3,400 feet of track, and during that, you will go through 4 inversions. Alright, so between these 3 RMCs, let's break it down a little bit more. So let's start off with the first drop. Which of these 3 roller coasters will have the best first drop? Personally, I think it's a no contest, and that will be Iron Gwazi. It's obviously taller and steeper. Airy Force One, its first drop looks to be pretty good, but I just don't think it will match the same intensity like Iron Gwazi. We already know what Wonder Woman Flight of Courage first drop will be like, since it'll be pretty much just like Jersey Devil Coaster, and that's a fun first drop, but I don't think it'll reach the same heights as Iron Gwazi. Alright, let's now talk about the best inversion. I think this is actually going to be a pretty tough one. Every one of these roller coasters has a signature element that I think will stand out and could be considered the best of the bunch. That zero-G stall, which is on Jersey Devil Coaster, I think is really awesome, and we'll be seeing that pretty much that same exact inversion on Wonder Woman, so that's the high bar that both of these roller coasters have to overcome. Airy Force One also looks like it has a really awesome zero-G stall, and I think that could be better than the one that we have on Jersey Devil Coaster and Wonder Woman, but at the same time, Airy Force One has a couple other inversions that look pretty impressive. That dive loop, though at first we might not think much about it, but the way you enter into that inversion, you're going to have some airtime before getting whipped upside down. And finally, that low to the ground barrel roll. That looks so awesome. I really can't wait to experience it. I'm not sure if it will be better than the other inversions, but definitely a notable moment. And finally, with Iron Gwazi, we have that barrel roll down drop. This is the inversion that pretty much all coaster enthusiasts have been talking about for a couple years. This inversion looks really intense. It's gonna have a nice whip. It kind of reminds me of the flying snake dive, which is on Storm Runner at Hershey Park. Honestly, I think it's going to come down to if you prefer hang time over intensity. If you really like the intensity, I think this inversion of Iron Gwazi is going to be the best. However, if you like good hang time, then I think that 0G stall on Airy Force One is going to be your pick. So of these three roller coasters, which one do I think will have the best airtime? Now, judging between the POVs, I really think the competition is going to be between Airy Force One and Iron Gwazi. Airy Force One looks to have a ton of airtime, more airtime than I was anticipating. As for Iron Gwazi looks a little bit to have some more whippy turns, fast transitions, obviously mixed in with some good pops of ejector airtime. But I'm thinking that Airy Force One will have more airtime overall. With that said, I also think that Airy Force One will have the better moment of airtime with that crazy outer bank turn. I think that maneuver is going to have some strong, sustained ejector airtime, very similar to what we've seen on Steel Vengeance. So our last topic is originality. If there is one thing I can say about RMC is that they're kind of predictable. They like to rehash the same elements in every one of the roller coasters, but I mean, it's not like it's a big deal because they do it so great. Now, obviously, Wonder Woman isn't going to have much to say here because it's basically a near clone of Jersey Devil Coaster. The one ride that I think that really stands out in originality has to be Airy Force One. It has a dive loop, which is a very rare element on an RMC, though not too rare when you look at other looping roller coasters, especially by B&M. But the rest of the ride, it just has an amazing lineup of elements. Of course, we have our traditional giant 0G stall and outer bank turn, but after that, it starts to mix things up a tad. The next element, which many of us probably won't think about, it's that low to the ground turnaround. RMC is known for not pummeling riders with strong, positive Gs. Well, and this roller coaster looks to be doing that with this low to the ground turn. I expect this maneuver to be a gray out moment. Finally, we have that quad down at the end of the ride. It may not be as intense as the one on Lightning Rod, but this is still going to be a great moment of fun ejector airtime. Overall, I guess you could say that Airy Force One is kind of like the greatest moments of other past RMCs. They took the best elements and they put them all into one ride, so I think this roller coaster has a chance of being one of the best roller coasters on the planet. In fact, I think Airy Force One has a chance of reaching into my top 5. Wonder Woman, I don't think it even has a chance of making into my top 20. However, Iron Gwazi, definitely top 10 material and possibly top 5 material. I don't want to downplay Iron Gwazi because I think it looks to be an amazing roller coaster. Watching the POV over again, I can see that the pacing on this ride looks top notch. The coaster doesn't look like it misses a beat right up until you slam into the brakes. So with that said, I think pacing is on point. This is going to be a fantastic coaster, and maybe it just all comes down to preference. Airy Force One has the variety, but Iron Gwazi probably has more intensity, so if you're looking for more intensity, Iron Gwazi is probably going to be your favorite. However, if you want a little bit more variety, then Airy Force One is the way to go. As for Wonder Woman Flight of Courage, if you haven't been on a single rail roller coaster or haven't checked out Jersey Devil Coaster, this is still going to be a solid roller coaster. I know us coaster enthusiasts like to slam clones or near-cloned roller coasters, but again, this ride is still going to be top-notch. I mean, I would rather have this over an SLC or Boomerang any day. So to conclude, my most anticipated new roller coaster by Rocky Mountain Construction is going to be Airy Force One. Iron Gwazi is a close second, and Wonder Woman, again, still looks like a good roller coaster, but just not going to be on par with the other two amazing RMCs coming our way. Well, thank you for watching today's video. I hope that you enjoyed this content, and if you did, please make sure to click on that like button. If you're looking for more content by yours truly, head on over to my Instagram or TikTok account. I try to keep those updated on a regular basis. Finally, if you're looking for a place to chat with other coaster enthusiasts, go check out my Discord channel. Once again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe and stay tuned for more content coming your way by Xtreme Thrills.